It's the start of a new school year, and that means the return of FSCTV News. I'm Jacob Smith.
And I'm Emaretta Branham. From changes to convocation to the upcoming theater performances, there's a lot to discuss, so let's get into it. This is your campus news.
Under the initiative of FSC President Dr. Jeremy Martin, convocation is changing its structure from once every semester to once every month. Convocation will be held on the second Wednesday of every month and will focus on gathering the FSC community together to talk about values important to the school. Martin explained that FSC was put in a unique situation where the institution had an hour held in the academic calendar for convocation. Getting rid of this hour, however, would mean that FSC would not get it back. Because of this, Martin decided to restructure convocation in the hopes of reinvigorating the event. Convocation will also be alternating locations each month between Branscombe Auditorium and the Jenkins Fieldhouse. In October, convocation will be held in Jenkins with the theme Wellness Reimagined. The November convocation will be for Kindness Week in Branscombe Auditorium, and the December convocation will also be in Branscombe, highlighting the music department to prepare for the holidays. Martin shared that the monthly convocations will be a slight mix of pep rally and assembly structures, being a completely unique experience for students. Quote, "One of the motivations behind this year is literally doing the experiment of saying, let's do convocation differently, which instead of saying, we're going to ask someone to come to us, what if we said convocation is about us? We're going to gather as a community once a month and talk about topics that we think are important in the Florida Southern community," end quote.
West Side, the Donovan Smith story, was a documentary released this past summer that covered the FSC seniors' journey towards basketball success. Produced by Minnesotan filmmaker Leo Close, the feature-length film highlights Smith's experience attending a prestigious basketball academy, his motivations for playing the sport, and his unyielding desire to succeed despite a career-threatening injury. The documentary premiered on YouTube on August 21st and is currently sitting at around 3,700 views. Smith hopes to finish out his senior year on a high note while maintaining his set of standards that got him to where he is now.
My name's Emly Dressel, and let's look at a snapshot of this week's weather. For the most part, it's going to be rainy and hot, with the highest temperature getting to around 85 degrees this week. Rain will be falling between 35 and 45% chance of rain most of the week, so don't forget your umbrellas. You don't want to get soaked on your way to class. The UV will be around 2, so you don't have to worry too much about getting sunburnt. And that's about all I have for this week's weather segment. Again, I've been Emly Dressel. Back to you guys.
This fall, Florida Southern College is welcoming the brand new School of Architecture. The decision to have an architecture program at FSC was one that was welcomed by students, staff, and the Lakeland community, with the program's founding dean and professor, Dr. Andrew Payne, believing it was long overdue. Quote, "This is a fantastic location and campus that has a very rich architectural history. So it makes sense that we not only honor that history, but we build upon it by producing students that are well-rounded designers and architects," end quote. Students can expect to get their first taste of hands-on experience during their first year in the program. They will experiment by building objects out of different materials and making them into shapes and sizes. From there, they will draw the object and learn how to graphically represent their designs. Despite being the world's largest site of Frank Lloyd Wright architecture, he won't be the only architect taught in the classroom. Payne says that along with Frank Lloyd Wright buildings, works by Robert Stern and local U.S. architects that have designed new buildings on campus will also be highlighted. This 5-year program has been meticulously curated, and with such a specialized curriculum, current FSC students do not have the option to switch into the major, and there is little flexibility for incoming students outside of the planned curriculum. There are a total of 42 students enrolled in Cohort 1 of the program, with freshmen and prospective students having shown a lot of interest in architecture. Payne expects the School of Architecture to be an exciting addition to FSC and commends the support from the community.
The first play of the semester, Boeing Boeing, will open on Friday, October 3rd, directed by FSC alumni Lawrence Leisure. The play follows Bernard Lawrence, a Parisian architect who is juggling relationships with 3 flight attendants coming from 3 different airlines. Things start heating up when all 3 women come to Paris to see him, including a series of comedic misunderstandings and situations as Bernard tries to keep his relationships a secret from the other women. With its witty dialogue and ludicrous elements, Boing Boing is sure to have an audience fighting back laughter. That's all we have from this edition of FSCTV News. Once again, I'm Emaretta Branham.
And I'm Jacob Smith. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.